In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to choose colors. Let me give you some tips. Colors are very important. I used to struggle with them. So many, how do I choose? There is a very handy theory to understand colors and combine them more thoughtfully. But first, let's have a look at what we are talking about when we talk about colors. Let's have a look on this panel in Adobe Illustrator. Each color has three main attributes: hue, saturation, and brightness. Think of a hue as a pigment, a pure color from the spectrum. You find all the spectrum colors here. Saturation is the amount of pigment in a specific tone. Brightness is the amount or intensity of the light in a color. So, here is the saturation, here is the brightness, and here is a hue. You can move sliders here and see how the numbers change. I will show you in a later lesson how to make a palette here. Now let me introduce you to a very useful theory that makes choosing colors for your art a lot easier. Meet Johannes Itten, a Swiss artist, designer, theorist, and teacher associated with the Bauhaus school. He taught a foundation course in crafts through the study of colors and forms in Bauhaus. You can find books of his that contain this study, like the Elements of Colors book. Itten is mostly known for his color wheel. He developed this useful tool to explain color theory for artists and designers and helped them to use colors more wisely. The color wheel is a chart of the spectrum that contains 12 hues. 3 primary colors, they are pure colors that can be mixed from other colors. They are source to all other colors from the color wheel. When you mix primary colors, you get secondary colors. So if you mix yellow and blue, you will get green. And when you continue mixing tints, you get tetraidy colors. So color wheel contains of 3 primary, 3 secondary, and 6 tetraidy colors. Interesting thing, there are several properties of colors. First, it's lightness. Each color have its own level of lightness. Strongest expression of light and dark are white and black. Yellow is the lightest color, and the violet is the darkest color. You can see it here. Any color can have lighter or darker shade. You can use it to create nice contrast in the image. Another property of colors is warmth. We have cool colors and warm colors. Generally, cool colors are at the left part of color wheel, and the warm colors is in the right part of color wheel. You can see them here. Use warm and cool colors to create specific feeling or specific contrast, like you see here on the image. But the most important and handy thing that Itten discovered is color harmonies. He suggested several ways to combine colors that they look stronger together, so there's harmony in these colors. So here is the color harmonies. The first one is analogous colors. For example, 3 colors from the color wheel that goes one after other. They create subtle color palette, so not much of the contrast. The other one is complementary colors. These are colors that you can find at opposite sides of the color wheel. For example, yellow and purple. These are the most contrast color combinations, like violet and yellow, green and red, blue and orange. You can see how I used complementary colors in this illustration. Another quite contrast color palette is split complementary. So split complementary contains 3 colors from the wheel two of which create complementary colors to the third. So you can see here, the violet is a complementary color to the yellow. But if you split violet into two colors, it will be the blue and kind of pinkish color. So you got the split complementary palette with a yellow, blue, and this pinkish violet color. Here's another combinations. And example where I use split complementary color palette. The next one is triadic. Triadic is three colors from the wheel. This could be primary colors, so the red, blue, and yellow. Or other three colors. You can use isosceles triangle to pick triadic color palettes. Here's an example. And tetradic color palette. In tetradic color palette, you can use four colors from the wheel. It could be drawn by any square or rectangular shape. Here's an example from my works. Remember about extension of colors. This is amount of color you can use. Don't forget to think about amount of each color in your illustration. It can be interesting to have some colors as basic and the others as additional ones, used in smaller areas to create nice mix. And of course remember that these color combinations are just suggestions. You can start from there and then create your own palette. Now I'm going to show you a little shortcut I sometimes use. There are some very handy websites to find beautiful ready-to-go color palettes. I'll show you one that's called Color Palettes. This one is my favorite. You can find tons of nice palettes here and you already can see how they look on the image. In a later lesson, I'll show you how I work with them on Illustrator. You can narrow them down by a base color you want to have in your palette or a kind of combination you want. For example, here are different palettes for blue. Or if I want to have red in my palette, I can choose palettes with red color. Maybe I want warm palettes, cool palettes, or contrast palettes. So here you can see complementary colors. I added a couple other websites into additional resources. You can check them out for more color palettes. When deciding on colors, think of what mood you want to give to your illustration. Primary colors will give a sense of joy and liveliness. Desaturated or pastel colors may feel more calm or even sad. Warm colors can give the sense of comfort and heat. Think what will help you to communicate your ideas best. I encourage you to create 3-5 nice color palettes for your final project. Use different kinds of color harmonies. Think of colors that represent your city or community. In this lesson, we talked about how to choose colors. In the next lesson, we will start sketching for the final project.